Okay. Bring that down a bit. Cool. Actually, let's switch it up. Let's switch the mood here. What do you say we go lo-fi? Do a little lo-fi here. The Final Fantasy variety. How you guys doing? So yeah, sorry about the short notice, but I had a cool idea on how to make the channel a little bit more vibrant, dynamic, try to do stuff that other people aren't already doing, trying to find my niche on Twitch, right? So one idea I had was, what if I used my social media, right, to take a recommendation for a movie to watch. It doesn't have to just be a movie. It could also be games. It could be movies. It could be music. But just take some sort of like recommendation and on the spot, watch it, listen, play, experience it, and come up with a live review here on the channel. That was kind of my idea. I don't know anybody else that does exactly that. There are some people that do, you know, they do like just chatting. They'll talk about that kind of stuff, you know. But I don't know anybody else that's just doing it live. Like I did, like I'll try to do like shorter, like longer notice though. I think that's the only problem. You know, I literally like, what was it? About 3 hours ago, I said, give me recommendations for a movie. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna stream a review when I'm done. I got a response for a movie called Overlord, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, all right, that's the one. I've never seen this. I haven't even actually heard of it. And then here I am live. All right, so the movie Overlord. I watched that tonight for the sole purpose of doing a review. And it turns out it's a J.J. Abrams Bad Robot produced movie. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. Cloverfield is probably one of my top 5 favorite horror movies. I love kaiju movies. And I love... I felt like that movie just had just the right balance of story and characters and the creatures and the monsters and everything. This isn't about that movie, but I'm just giving you my introduction to J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. That was the first time I ever heard of J.J. Abrams was Cloverfield. And since then, I've been really impressed with the stuff he put out. I think he did Lost, right? That was kind of his big thing. He did that show Lost. Which I haven't watched all the way through. It's a bit cumbersome. So Overlord. I keep wanting to say Overworld. All right. So it's Overlord, and came out a couple of years ago. I think it was 2019. And basically, what I got from the trailer was like mutations, like man-made monsters with like mutations and stuff. What made it really cool though, it was set in World War II. Basically these paratroopers, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but these, you know, the soldiers that, you know, parachute in, they were going to knock out a bunch of radio towers the day or 2 days before D-Day, like the, you know, the official, like, you know, when the U.S. soldiers rolled up on that beach, you know, that really famous battle. So these guys were sent there to knock out some radio towers to allow them to do that, right? So they go, their plane starts getting shot down. They jump out. Right now, it's like not even horror yet. It's basically, well, it is horror, but it's like war horror. You know, them like really tight shots, closed room. You know, they're in the plane. They could see outside. They see other planes getting knocked down. They open up the door to, get ready to jump out and stuff like that. So it is right there. It's like war horror, you know. Couple of guys don't even make it out of the plane, you know. It's like standard war movie stuff. And so after the main characters jump out, you know, their whole squad jumps out, you know, you're pretty much attached to this character named Boyce. He's like kind of the main guy. He's like not battle hardened. He's kind of like the John Everyman, not battle hardened. He's, you know, he's not silly. He's not the Joker. He's not, you know, the experienced war veteran. You know, he's like your average, you know, rookie recruit, but he's a quick learner. And you come to find out he knows French, which definitely helps, seeing as how they're landing in France. And so, you know, it's pretty tight with him. And then, so finally, like, they get out of the plane, they land on the thing, and that's when it actually, like, becomes, like, horror. You notice the mood kind of changes. It goes from that really, like, loud, exciting battle to, like, you know, he meets up with a couple other guys, and it's like, everybody be quiet, you know. And it's like everything is like smoky and dark. It's all at night, so it's dark, everything. Like really it's like parallel horror, right? It's like the war is horror, like realistic actual horror, but then it's also kind of like, it starts with like the supernatural horror as well, because now you got like paratroopers, like dead bodies hanging from the trees and everything, like dangling from their parachute, and it's like you're like stuck in this like dark forest that's smoky, and just like you see like the silhouettes of like just bodies like floating above them and everything. It's only lit by flames, and it's really good. It's like really good imagery, really good sets the mood, and a really good transition from war into like where we're kind of going. So let's see. Then you meet up with a scavenger. Her name's Chloe, and you know, they meet up with her. You find out that they're on the same side. They take them to the village, and you find out that the village is overtaken by Nazis, and they're taking all these people from the village and doing tests on them, and they're coming out and they're all like kind of jacked up, like they're breathing weird, like they're wheezing, and they're like, they got boils all over it, and like specifically the girl's aunt is infected, and she's all messed up, and they hide her in a room. Like you don't really get to see her. She's in a room. So they shack up in the in her house, in her attic and stuff. And really that's where it kind of bounces back and forth between the horror of the war and the horror of like the lab, I guess. Yeah, like we'll just say it's like the lab, right? And it's pretty cool because that's kind of what it's not that far-fetched, right? That's like a known thing that like in World War II, like the Nazis, they didn't just kill everybody, they also did do quote-unquote science experiments, right? They had they kept people with like an inch of their lives, you know, just to see like what happens to your brain as you die, like really sick, twisted shit, like. And so it's like not that far-fetched what they were trying to, you know, put on here. And then, you know, eventually like the guy goes in and like he sees the lab. Boyce goes in and sees the lab, and you know, he sees basically like he hears talking, and he pulls the cover over like this severed head with like a spine dangling, and it's like talking and stuff, and it's like right there, you know, like something's kind of crazy going on, right? So I don't want to give away the whole movie and tell you guys exactly, like, step by step how the movie went, but I just want to give, like, just a little review, just a kind of like what I thought about it. Again, this was produced by J.J. Abrams, not directed, but usually when it's something under his umbrella, you could kind of expect a certain quality standard, and this definitely met that standard. This was definitely nothing got too corny, nothing got too like far-fetched. Everything kind of made sense within the universe. That's the important thing. It's like you could get as weird as you want as long as it makes sense within the universe, right? It was pretty cool. A lot of the outside, the outdoors shots definitely like used the environment and everything. One of my biggest complaints with modern filmmaking, especially horror, is everything is like really tight shots with like a depth of field really like right in their face, and it's like you don't really get a feel for what the environment is. And like there's even like some movies where there's like a fight scene and it's like I don't even know who's winning. It's like everything is just really tight. So they definitely had like a lot of good shots of them like walking through town, and like you could see like the trenches, you could see like abandoned houses, you could see like the Nazis in the background like patrolling and stuff like that. So it was really like well shot. It was good. Definitely like felt good to watch movies like that. And that's another thing like with J.J. Abrams and movies that are under his umbrella. I feel like they have like those standards. They don't get too cliche with like the tight shots and stuff like that, and like where everything kind of just looks exactly the same. It had a good amount of body horror, obviously. In the lab, there's people with severed limbs, and people that basically have been resurrected from a gruesome death. So there's body horror. Good suspense, like walking through the lab with the main character Boyce. He finds himself like in there, and he's got to make his way around. And I mean, he's like, first of all, the character is black, so there's no way he's going to walk through a Nazi camp and like fake it, So like, maybe if they had like the yo, what's up, 514 is in the house. Hey man, trying something new here. I literally put on my my Instagram for somebody to recommend me a movie, and I was gonna watch it and just come on here and review it. And that's all. That's all this is. So we're part way through it. I gave a little synopsis of like how the story started, and now I'm just getting it a little bit. I talked a little bit about how it was shot, like the quality of the film and everything. Now I'm talking about like the different types of horror they use. They use a lot of body horror, a lot of like severed limbs, heads being like taken off the shoulders, tubes going into chest cavities, stuff like that. So like a lot of body horror, a lot of thrilling suspense and stuff like that. It had all those good feels. I really like that. And it's like it kept bouncing back and forth, right? Like you have that horror, and then you go back to the house where the soldiers are hiding in the attic with this woman, Chloe, and her family. And like the Nazis are like, they keep coming in her house, and the guys are like hiding in the attic, It's very tense, that kind of feel, like where your heart's racing and it's like you gotta try not to breathe really hard. You don't watch movies, or you would have suggested. Well, that's cool, man. Even if you have a movie that you like from way back in the day that you think I might enjoy. And it's not always gonna be movies too. I might do like video games. I might do I might do like music, stuff like that. You could do like a comedy show if you have like a stand-up comedy you like, or recommend any of that stuff. It's all good. So, truth be told, I don't always like to give a review or a response to a movie immediately after watching it, because usually you have that buzz of you just saw it and everything made sense to you, whereas afterwards, when you give it a chance to sink in, especially when you're watching like a fiction, like supernatural movie, like after a while, like things sink in and you're just like, wait, that didn't make any sense, or that was weird. So that's why this is just like totally for fun, don't take it too seriously. I took some notes, but I actually stopped taking notes like right about when Boyce went on his way to the lab for the first time, and I stopped taking notes because I was actually pulled into the story, and I was like, I'm gonna remember this because it was just well told, and it was very suspenseful. That word's gonna keep coming up. There was like a lot of suspense, a lot of be quiet. You're sneaking through these hallways of like this old Nazi laboratory, and like there's like soldiers everywhere, so it was really good like that. There was Kurt Russell's son was in it, Wyatt Russell. He was in it, and he was pretty good. I wouldn't say he was the main character, but he was definitely an important character. I liked him in it. He was definitely he was like a grizzled veteran and everything. He played the highest ranking soldier of the group that you're following through this movie. So he was really good in it. What else? I don't want to give too much away, just in case anybody watches. I'll try to keep it spoiler free, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll put a definitive moment where I'll switch it over to a spoiler discussion. So yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? So yeah, we went to the lab. That's when things started turning body horror. A combination suspense and supernatural horror. What else was there? There was no love interest, which I love that. Let me tell you something, man. In horror movies, the fact that every girl needs a boyfriend, it's just that shit's just played out, man. It doesn't make any sense. There's no room in this movie for love interest or any sort of romantic relationship. So there was none of that. So that was really good. So the female lead, she just played a big sister to the little boy that was in there. That added a little bit of extra, a little bit more importance to everybody's survival. Because there was a little kid involved. There was all the American soldiers. There was a couple of cliche guys. Like I said, there was Kurt Russell's son played Ford. It doesn't get more American than that, right? His name, he played the this blonde hair, blue eye, Kentucky looking dude. And what else there was there's Rosenblatt something, I want to say. There's another soldier. There's another soldier, Chase. He was pretty good. He was a photographer, and he was a younger soldier, and yeah, he has quite a plot twist in his story there. But yeah, overall, I would say definitely a solid movie. I am a fan, again, of J.J. Abrams and the Bad Robot Company. I feel like they always have good stuff coming out of there. The quality is always good, in my opinion. It kind of goes in, it does all the things that I would want them to do, Let's see, hold on one second. All right, where was I? So yeah, I mean, overall, definitely. I don't usually like rank movies, especially like as soon as I see them. But yeah, I mean, it was just a good quality movie. It's definitely nothing. I wouldn't go too crazy, calling it like some like groundbreaking thing, but it was definitely a story I haven't seen before. There's this thing going on now where it's like everybody's seen a World War II movie. Everybody's seen a body horror movie, right? But like, have you seen a body horror movie set in World War II? It's kind of like, we've reached that point in movie making, especially horror, where it's like you can't shock anybody because we've seen everything, right? So there's a little bit of a little bit of like blending two types of movies together to make one movie that nobody's seen. The movie was a bit long. It was 110 minutes, so almost 2 hours. But I can't think of anything in there that should be omitted. I feel like everything that happened was important. Nothing felt dragged out. No dialogue felt unnecessary. There's no people just sitting around a table, like giving their life story and stuff like that. Nothing like that. Everything there was pretty necessary. They fit everything in that period of time. It's crazy the way the movie ended. It's just like, they went, they did what they had to do, and then it was just over. Like there's literally nothing in that movie that could have been taken out and have it like make sense. So at 110 minutes, like I said, a little bit long for a horror movie. Usually they're around 70 to 90 minutes long, but this one just added that extra 20 minutes. Do I like anime or animated films? I like animated films. I'll be honest, anime. So that'll conclude the review. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'll just talk to you guys about whatever. So here's the thing about anime for me. I'm not turned off by anime. For example, like Castlevania had the anime style, the storytelling, the design, and everything. And I wasn't turned off by it. It was really good. But the fact that it was Castlevania is what made me like it. Whenever I go to watch an anime, I gotta be honest, man. Like, I either don't get it or like I just don't like enjoy it. There's a couple exceptions. Miyazaki films, Studio Ghibli. So like, Totoro, Spirited Away, those, I love those. They're beautiful movies. They're absolutely gorgeous movies. So that's an exception to the anime where I will just always like that. What else? Like I've tried to watch stuff like back in the 90s. I watched like Ninja Scroll, and I was like, all right, well, I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, I don't seek out anime. I like Avatar. I like Miyazaki films. I liked Castlevania. Other than that, I can't think of any anime that I actually enjoyed front to back. When I was a kid, Dragon Ball Z was kind of the thing, where if you liked anime, that was your jam. Howl's Moving Castle and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind were good movies. Those are Miyazaki films. Exactly. Those are beautiful movies. I love those. I will always make Miyazaki films an exception to the rule that I don't prefer anime. Now, I won't avoid anime. If there's something that's really good and it is anime, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I guess I can't watch it. And as silly as that sounds, there are people out there that Castlevania cartoon came out, and there are people out there that, even though they're fans of Castlevania, they said, I don't like the anime style. I'm not gonna watch it. You know, and that's really weird to me, because if you are a fan of Castlevania, and you like Symphony of the Night, I feel like the artwork is right out of Symphony of the Night. Like, they literally just used the exact style, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where I am at anime. Is that like your preference? Do you like anime more than like your standard live action film? I can't think of any other anime other than Avatar and Miyazaki films that I really liked. Like, and that's just me being honest. And I've tried many times to get into different animes. I watched Baki Grappler with my friend who was a big fan of that series. I watched some Naruto. Didn't get into that. Didn't get into Dragon Ball Z. Like I said earlier, there was a movie called Ninja Scroll that was big when I was younger. I watched it. I didn't see the big deal. That's all I could think about. I can't think of any other anime that I've been exposed to. I like the Final Fantasy movies. I don't think that counts, though. Like Advent Children. I really like that. Bleach pretty much has the 1,000-year Blood War arc in October of this year. The 1,000-year Blood War. I don't know what that is. Is that something that's from Bleach? Because if so, I don't know that. I don't know. Soul Reapers versus Quincy's. Yeah, man, real talk. I don't know enough about the series to actually discuss that. So, yeah. I mean, Bleach is another one that I heard was really good, but I never even tried to watch that. You're more familiar with anime movies? Okay, well, I mean, if there's ever one that you think I will enjoy, by all means, next time I do one of these recommend me a movie, just throw it in the comments. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do that a little sooner. I think one of the things that I did wrong with this one is I always think big, and I always think about my channel, where it's like I'm gonna ask a question and I'm gonna get a response. Never really do I plan for blasting out a question and just crickets, So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to start a little bit earlier. I'm gonna try and blast these out a little bit earlier. So it was 3 hours ago I watched the movie. It was about 2 hours long. So you guys only had about an hour window to get your recommendations in. Not that good. But I also do want it to be spontaneous. So I'm going to have to try to find the middle ground. I'm thinking if I'm going to start the movie at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm thinking maybe 5 o'clock I got to open it up. Got to open up the question. So at least, you guys get a couple hours in. You barely had an hour to recommend anything. So I understand that, it didn't... There wasn't enough time. Thankfully, I did get a few suggestions, but all of them except Overlord were not available to stream. I had to select Overlord specifically because it was available on Paramount. Yeah, Paramount Plus. So I went and I grabbed that. You can still see it. It's still on the TV. That's like the menu of Paramount Plus. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for my my quick movie review. Like, I want these to be short. Like I said, the light in my face doesn't feel good for extended periods of time, but I figured this is a good way to keep the window open and keep the channel lively and talk to you guys. Like, as I said before, I had to stop playing games with the light on and the camera on, because this is my screen right here, right? This is my camera, screen, and here's my light right here, right? And when I'm playing a video game, like right now, I'm good because I'm not looking directly at the light. I'm looking over at the chat screen, and I could see my window and everything. I'm good. But when I try to play a video game and it's right here and I have to look at the light, it starts hurting within like 5 to 10 minutes. I just can't do it. So that's gonna do it, like I said, for the movie review. One other thing I was gonna throw out there, if you guys aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, what I'm doing on the YouTube channel is I'm taking old files from before I joined Twitch. Before I joined Twitch, for like about 6 months or so, I was doing nightly streams on YouTube. And it's funny, I didn't even have like a nickname yet, so it's like everything is just like called Charles. It's like live with Charles, because that was my my friggin' my YouTube channel had to be linked to my Google Plus account, which is defunct now, right? Google Plus it's not a thing anymore. And what is it? And it's like yeah, so I had to use my real name. It wasn't until I came to Twitch that I like debuted, and I was like, oh, I'll be lucky number 13. And then I was like, that's a little bit too far for my name. So now I just came back to Chuck, which is what most people close to me call me. Not family, but like a few of the people I work with call me that. I've been called that casually. Some of my family, some of my aunts and uncles have called me that. So I went with that. But anyway, yeah, I ramble. I'm going to be taking old stuff from that. Peppermint Patty calls me that. Ah, yes. There you go. Yes, sir. But yeah, so I'm going to be putting old videos from the YouTube days. One of the funny things about those days is this is before I knew anything about Twitch. My thing was, I thought going an hour or longer was too long. So most of these are like 45 minutes long, because I thought it was too long. Because I was playing like NES games. I was playing like Mega Man and stuff. I was like, who wants to watch me play Mega Man for like 2 hours? It's like, and then you come to Twitch and you come to find out it's like, yeah, nobody wants to watch like little 45-minute blurbs. They want you to like settle down, settle in, and you know, stay live for like an hour or two, you know. So I learned that. So the first stuff that went up is I'm like almost done with The Legend of Zelda. It's gonna be every Monday and Tuesday. It's gonna premiere on YouTube. And then that's gonna be January. February, it's gonna do the 2-player with Tofu Lang of Resident Evil 5. So I got some good footage of the Resident Evil 5 playthrough we did, 2-player co-op, along with a bonus DLC. Another thing I was thinking about for the channel, to keep this channel fresh, since my schedule sucks, I can only stream at night. A lot of people aren't able to show up. Anybody that's in the UK or Europe certainly can't jive with my schedule, because I'm basically going live at midnight for them. what I was thinking of, taking those same videos and also premiering them on Twitch and doing a live premiere where like I'm in the chat and we could watch it together. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in, that's another way I was thinking of keeping it fresh. I'm working on ways to try and make the channel a little bit more vibrant, a little bit different, and also, like, because since my schedule is ass, there's no way I could stream during the day, at least until either COVID goes away or the weather gets nicer and my wife can take the kids out for like an hour or two. Until one of those things happens, I'm stuck with this schedule. So that's gonna do it, guys, for me. I appreciate anybody that came out for this. Like I said, these are going to be like spontaneous, but I'm going to try to give a little bit longer notice next time. This was an idea that I had as soon as I sent it. That's when I had the idea. I literally just thought of it, where it's like, you guys give me a movie. If I never saw it before, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to go live right after, immediately after. There's the menu and everything on the TV, and I'm going to give you my honest review. So tonight's review was Overlord. It's a movie. It's about World War II, Nazi scientists doing weird science experiments on people and creating monsters. And it's a really good movie. If you like horror, I highly recommend it. Again, it's 110 minutes long, so it's a little bit long. We did not get snow. We got rain and wind here. In fact, I suspect last night when I lost my internet for a moment, I actually suspect that something happened to the internet because of how bad the wind was. When I took my headphones off, it sounded like there was a train coming towards the house. And I was like, are we about to get a tornado? And then I looked out my window and it was hailing. And I was like, for real, are we about to get a tornado here? And I pulled up the weather, and it said severe storms, no tornadoes. Yeah, we thankfully I didn't hear anything about a tornado anywhere near us. So it was just a really scary storm with no actual damage, just really loud, really scary. But overall, doing all right. So guys, thank you for coming. I'm gonna stick to my usual schedule. I'm gonna try to add these little extras here and there. But yeah, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, and you want to participate in the next movie review, by all means, hop on over to there, give me a follow, and definitely participate. Do not be afraid. The worst thing that could happen is I don't pick your suggestion, right? So you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.